What's good, everybody? Axel Raxel coming at you live and Stray Diggity Dog at your service. Peep the drip. I got Jay's 2 cents, the newest member of his team. No, I'm just playing, but seriously, just bought some more YouTuber merch, as I do. Support your favorite YouTuber. I don't have any merch, and I'm probably not your favorite YouTuber, but that brings me to thank you guys for being here and watching the video and clicking on it, because there's so many better content creators out there. The fact you're spending your time with me is really awesome, and I'm very grateful. So I got a buddy that has a friend or a coworker that works for an apartment complex, and somebody moved out of their apartment complex, and they ended up leaving basically 2 computers behind, or at least 1 full computer, and we don't know the story on it. That's all I know. That's literally it. I don't know if it works, doesn't work, but basically you have most of 2 computers, or at least 1 full computer. Let me just show y'all what I got here before I set y'all down. That's why I'm waving y'all all around here. Obviously, they like to fish and like Under Armour. That's just a sticker. Looks like once upon a time this was just a pre-built, because I recognized that card. I worked on a pre-built my brother bought back in 2016 that had, I'm pretty sure, that exact same card in it. But his was a HP Omen, I believe, from 2016, and I still have yet to identify that card. I cleaned it up, repasted it, and still haven't even tested it. It's not marked anywhere on there what it is, but I would assume it's like a 1060, 2060, 1660, somewhere in that region. But again, this is all we know about it. Somebody moved out of their apartment and left all this stuff behind. This is exactly how I got it, in this Tupperware deal with a towel thrown over it. As we do normally, our normal practice, which I would advise everybody else to do if you do any PC flipping or buy stuff on Facebook Marketplace, thoroughly inspect the PC. Take the back panel off, because behind the motherboard is where the Russian roaches like to go, and they like electricity and the heat that it conducts or puts off. So I've seen it. Luckily, I haven't ran into it myself, but I've seen multiple YouTube videos where people buy stuff and there ends up being a whole bunch of roaches inside of it. And if you don't want your wife to divorce you because you keep bringing home PC crap with roaches in it, I would advise thoroughly inspecting it and possibly, well, I'm getting a call. Potential spam. We're going to decline that. Got a new phone too, by the way, Pixel 9 Pro XL, so the quality should be much better, because my other phone had been submerged in water, not once, but twice, so it was a little foggy on the camera. Everything still worked, though. I'll give Pixel that. This is actually my 4th Pixel phone. I've been with them since the very first Pixel. I like them. They're not for everybody, whatever. They have a great camera on them. That's why, one of the many reasons I like it. This one actually records in 8K. And so far, the quality has been great on all the pictures I've taken. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. This is my normal style. So the kid found this. He doesn't have a lot of money, so we're going to try to get at least 1 working computer out of this. If we have to contribute a part or 2, not a big deal. As far as I know, it's a kid, and I think my buddy knows the mom is a coworker or something. And it's a younger guy that found the computer, and he was gonna just sell the parts if he couldn't get them working. But with everything we got here, it looks like it used to be some kind of pre-built. I may not be able to salvage this AIO. Because I don't know if I have all the brackets and everything that we need. But It's only a 120 mil anyway. It's a one fan AIO. So that's kind of weird. It's got one stick of, I believe it's ballistic RAM. I'm about to get y'all up out of this box so we can actually see what's going on here. I just wanted y'all to see the way that it came to me. So I'm going to sit y'all down over here, and then we're just going to take this stuff out like one thing at a time. The Jay's 2 cents shirt, it's the graphics card. I forgot what exactly they call the shirt, but it's, you know, after the paper launch, they put this shirt out for a limited time, and I had to get it because not only does it match my color scheme, but it's just dope as hell. It's got the fake frames, all that good stuff. I don't know if you guys are getting a good view of that or not, but let's dig in here and see what we got. And any of you guys that constantly tune in, TJ Wolf, I think, is one that I see a lot. Sensation. Any of you guys that follow along and constantly tune in, you guys are soldiers. I am so bad about rambling. I have ADHD so bad. I see squirrels, man, and I apologize. But for the ones that stay tuned and keep rocking with me, I really do appreciate it, more than you'll ever know. Because I've got to get this tech talk out to somebody. My wife ain't trying to hear it. So this is how I get it out of my system. I like to tinker, and sometimes I document that tinkering. But this is actually a pretty nice MSI motherboard. This is my color scheme, as y'all know. If this thing doesn't work, it'd be a cool wall hanger just for a conversation piece. I've got a couple parts like that I've saved that I just want to like hang up on a pegboard or something just because they're cool. I can't bring myself to toss them even though they don't work. But let's see what we got here. Don't really want to waste any of my good CPU cleaning pads on this, but not bad. Looks like it's a 9th gen i5. So there was 2 motherboards. One's actually in the case, and one platform is AMD and the other is Intel. This one is a 9th gen Intel. I believe that's the 1200 socket. 115X. All right, yeah. So it's the one before the LGA 1200. But he also has 2 power supplies. But besides the somewhat put together PC, there was an extra power supply with the ketchup and mustard cables. Intel motherboard with an Intel i5 CPU. And no power cord for this power supply, which I'm not surprised. If you guys ever run across a bunch of power cords for power supplies, definitely grab them, because if you do any kind of PC flipping, that is a constant problem I have. People bring me PCs all the time and they never have their damn power cord. I don't know if they're jump roping with them or what they're doing with them, but believe it or not, the put together PC actually has the power cord. Oh wow, what in the Molex is this? I don't know if you guys can see this daisy chain Molex here. Rat's nest. This is actually a 700 watt Thermaltake Smart. I know not everybody is a fan of those Smart Thermaltake power supplies, but it's 80 plus white. I don't know. But set this on the table behind us here. Get this box out of the way so I don't break this glass panel. Oh, this is where all the weight is. I was wondering why this thing was so heavy. I don't know what the hell this is. Cover stand top. ASSY cover stand top. ASSY. Some random screws. I don't know if you guys can see that. But some kind of metal plate that I don't think has anything to do with the computer. But man, I'm telling you, this thing is like 15 pounds. At least 10 pounds. It's heavy. And I have no idea what it goes to, but I don't think it has anything to do with this computer. Cover stand. I don't know. I was wondering why this thing weighed so much, because the computer itself, the case when I pulled it out, was really light. Oh, IO shield. Looks like a Wi-Fi card. And this may be the missing screws we need for that AIO. This is kind of crazy. There's actually a power cord and the IO shield, when people that actually own their computers have brought me stuff that does not have either one. But let's, first off, we'll test these power supplies. And dust actually can conduct electricity. So normally if they're super dirty, I'll at least blow them out with the electric air duster. But I don't know, this isn't too terribly bad. So I think we're just gonna go with it, and then if we figure out which one's working that we're actually gonna put together, we'll clean that one thoroughly before we actually assemble the whole thing. They're cutting back on overtime at work, so I ought to be able to get more time to do some more tinkering. I also did finish my setup, my personal PC, but I don't have all the lights and screens and everything optimized the way I want. And when I'm doing a job for somebody, I push them to the front of the line because my to-do list is never ending. But I ought to have more free time now that we're cutting back on overtime. It's kind of slow around the store. So let's throw this bad boy on the power supply tester. See if it even works. If you don't have one of these, I used to use the paper clip trick just to see if the power supply even turns on. It's not the best method, but if you got 15 bucks, these things are a good investment. It'll tell you if you got a bad rail or anything. If you can get them plugged in. Alright. So far, I'm not getting any beeps. Huh. Wasn't turned on, that's why. Surprisingly, this kid may have struck gold, man. He may have just found a box full of working PC components. Got some beeping going on here. The Molex, looks like this power supply is actually checking out. Well, everything checks out. Appears to be good. But yeah, it gets its power from the power supply. But yeah, I got it on Amazon for like 15 bucks. I did a video on this really early on. Something just fell. But yeah, it just lights up, and as long as none of these numbers are like flashing or anything, then your power supply is good. As you see the fan spinning, seems to be a working power supply. It's a Prestige, a Apevia 600 watt. People talk shit about a Apevia, but I've used them and they actually seem to work all right. I actually have a 700 watt Apevia power supply right next door to me in my son's room. That's what I used to build his computer. So I trusted enough to have it running in my own house. And they're cheap. Also depends on which one you get. I think they do have some lesser tiers that you maybe not want to trust, but this is a Prestige Apevia power supply. I think the one that I have is a Spirit, Apevia Spirit 700 watt. And I built that computer in April of 2024, so it's been running for like almost a year and a half with no problems. I even just upgraded him to a 5070. We found a 5070 Prime actually at not too bad above MSRP. I actually got a shout out to UFD Tech. You know, they have their deal of the day segment of their channel, and they showed it on there for $549. I don't know, after tax and everything, it ended up being $594 for a 5070 Asus Prime. Now the Prime is like the bare bones budget version of Asus's graphics card, but it's the job done. So we got a working power supply so far, we know that. And let's get a closer look at this PC here. This power supply is not even bolted down or anything. Let's see what all we got here. Turn some light on for you guys. Yeah, it looks exactly like the little graphics card I pulled out of my brother's HP Omen, which I still have. I need to test that card and see if it works now. It did not work when I pulled it out of there, but I took it apart and cleaned it and repasted it. For what reason, I don't know, since I didn't even take the time to test it afterwards. But, oh yeah, we got some dust bunnies going on there. This is definitely a take it outside and blow it out type of job. But, yeah, it's a Corsair AIO. And I don't know that I'm going to have the brackets for that. Oh, he's got a budget banger of a CPU in here, though. It's a Ryzen 5 3600. I used to get those all day for like 50 bucks, but they're actually going for like 80, 90 bucks now. Even on like AliExpress and sites like that. So if that works, that's a solid little CPU. I believe it's 6 cores, 12 threads. And that i5 9th gen ain't bad either, man. This kid may have just lucked the hell out if all this stuff actually works. Just needs a good cleanup and put together, you know, even if we got to Frankenstein it. Not a bad find. So let's see here. And I've got CPU coolers. We may even scrap this AIO because it looks kind of sketchy. I mean, it's not doing much anyway. being a single fan, which I know it doesn't take much to cool this little Ryzen 5, but I don't know. It's got a bag of screws over here that might have everything we need. Somebody may have been trying to switch it and just didn't know what the hell they were doing. The 8-pin for the CPU is plugged in. We got a stick of Ballistic by Micron. Looks to be I don't know, it's probably an 8 gig stick. I'm not seeing it anywhere on here. Oh yeah, 3000 megahertz, lead free. That's good to know. Yeah, it's an 8 gig. So hey, they don't make DDR4 anymore, so that stuff's getting a little pricier now. I've been going around scooping up all the used DDR4 I can find deals on. I actually sold that that one PC that had the monitor in the case, the Y60, that I put the monitor in to make it like a Y70. That guy just upgraded his fans, his RAM, and his AIO. And he was like, man, if you want all that stuff back for another project, I'll bring it to you. He's a customer at the store. I cut meat for him. And I was like, hell yeah, man. So that's pretty awesome. All that stuff is like halfway there to another build. And when I upgraded my son's computer, I got his old 2060 and his 2 8 gig sticks of Alloy RAM. So with everybody returning all this stuff, I have almost a full computer. Just need a Mobo and a power supply and a case to slap it in. Well, half a computer. Either way, it's nice whenever you can get parts back. It may sound dumb buying parts twice like that, which in this case I'm not actually buying them, but even if I did have to buy it for like what I originally paid for it, I wouldn't mind because I know the origin of the parts. I know they were taken care of and I know who they came from, which is yours truly. Let's see here. I'm just gonna see if we can get a boot out of this thing. If I can get it turned around anyway. There's something blocking it here. There's a spinning drive in here. Alright, I am gonna do some messing around off camera here and see if we can throw something together out of these parts, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I have a result, whether it's a working PC or not. Either way, some of these parts have got to be good. We already checked out the power supply. We know it's good. I'm going to check this other one out before plugging it into anything, and I will get back with you guys. Alright, I wish I would have not stopped recording when I did, because as soon as I did a test boot on this motherboard, it started literally smoking from the VRMs. I don't know, you can still smell it, for sure, but I don't know if we can see any actual damage there. This thing is gross. But yeah, it was smoking right, coming right out of there from the RMs. And yeah, of course, I had just stopped recording when it happened. So this motherboard's definitely not good. This is an AM4 motherboard with a Ryzen 5 3600. The other motherboard was the Intel MSI with the i5 9600K. So we're gonna see if we can't get a boot on this one. I'm not gonna actually leave it on for any length of time to damage it. We're just gonna see what happens with this one. I haven't, it was being held in with one screw on the motherboard, by the way. I took one screw out. So we'll see what this one does. Nothing. And probably should flip the switch. Still nothing. Alright. Back to the drawing board. CPUs rarely fail, so I'm thinking both power supplies passed the power supply tester. We probably have two good CPUs, two good power supplies. That AIO, I took it out and blew it out with air duster, and it's pretty much junk. Let's see here. I don't know if I'd trust it, because who knows how old it is. And this is, mind you, after I blew it out with the air duster. Given my air duster needs to be charged and doesn't put out that much power, I really need to get a larger one. But yeah, this little single fan AIO I don't think is worth it. I can tell it's pretty old just by the style of tubes it uses. I mean, this feels like a garden hose or something. It's like actual rubber hose, not the aesthetically nice ones we have in today's market. But yeah, I got nothing out of this, so back to the drawing board. I'm going to see what cheaper, older motherboards I have to fit either one of these, and see if we can't throw his hardware in that. And oh, and we also might have a working graphics card, because it did spin, but I got no picture out. Of course, it starts smoking. It could have been training memory, but I didn't take the time to see if I got a picture. I turned it off as soon as I saw smoke. And you can still smell the electric smoke, but whatever. Yeah. I'll get back with you guys. Alright, guys. This is not the end result I would have hoped for. Kind of anticlimactic, but I was unable to get either motherboard working. The first one, as you know, started smoking. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that before, but the first thing I did when I got done working for the night was get on Amazon and order a fire extinguisher. That was already on my list of tools I need. But after that happened, it just confirmed, like, especially when I'm about to start learning how to solder, like, I think I need a fire extinguisher just to be on the safe side. But yeah, I tried the Intel motherboard. It also, like, I got nothing out of it. CPUs rarely fail, so I think really he possibly could have had, because everything spun up. Of course, I didn't get a picture out on that, AMD motherboard because it started smoking and I cut it off. But everything else very well may have worked, but apparently the kid was getting on my buddy's nerves, like messaging him, is it ready, is it ready, is it ready, any updates? So he was like, man, just bring it back. And he's a drinking buddy of mine, we have cocktails together, so he was like, just bring it back because the kid's getting on my nerves and I'll just buy you a bottle or something for your trouble. And I hate that, because I actually was ready to try to put something together out of it for him, but I did shoot an offer when I took it back and told him to tell the kid I'd give him $50 for all of it. The CPUs are probably still good, because CPUs rarely fail. And I mean, he had a Ryzen 5 3600, an i5 9th gen. The two power supplies I tested and were both working power supplies that were decent. The case was, honestly, the case was kind of, it had all the panels and everything for it. Wasn't the greatest, but it was a working case, you know, and had everything for it. But so I mean, it's definitely worth $50 if the kid wants to accept my offer on that. We can get a couple of CPUs out of the deal. Oh, and he had one stick of RAM. It was an 8 gig stick of ballistic RAM, so $50 is about all I'm willing to offer for that, because I mean, I literally already have all those parts. But just so we don't have such an anticlimactic end to the video that's already pretty long at this point, I got a graphics card off of eBay that I saw on the Toasty Bros channel. And luckily, I happened to see the video like 9 minutes after they posted it, so I got there before they all sold out. But it's a AMD 5700, I believe. It had like a weird, it was like 5700M or something. It was like an old workstation card. But the seller had them listed for $109, and he had like 100 of them. I figure, you know, I watched them test it and everything. The only like really wonky thing about it was, if I remember correctly, all the display connections were mini DisplayPort. But it had like 6 of them on there. I don't know, but for $100, good little budget graphics card. I figure since it came in, I'd unbox it, so it, you know, had some kind of ending to this video. And it wasn't just oh, it didn't work, the video's over. So I figured this would kind of sweeten the pot for you guys hanging in there if you watch till the end. So, and we may do a separate video on this, testing it. But I thought it was a pretty cool card. We might do a little blue themed build. It's like blue with like a racing stripe down the middle. It's actually, looks like it's in really good condition too. Wow, this thing looks like it's brand new. That's crazy. It's in like really good condition. I mean, it literally looks brand new. There's not a speck of dust on it. Not a scuff, a scratch, nothing. For $109. Unfortunately, I was correct. It is all like mini DisplayPort. I guess that's what that is. So $109 plus $10 or whatever to get there is a Type C as well, which I do have that, so I can at least test the card. But man, that's a good buy for $109. I wasn't 100%, you know, but after ordering this, if I knew that it was going to come in and be in this good a shape, I would have bought like 5 of them. But yeah, it's a doesn't say on here anywhere. Yeah, it's a Radeon Pro W 5700. I was thinking M. Just being dyslexic. There's even a warranty sticker on it. Crazy. But yeah, we'll get some blue extension cables and do like a little blue themed build. That's actually a really nice looking card. But yeah, I figured I'd throw this in at the end so you guys have some kind of reward at the end of watching this long drawn out video. I hate that I ended up not getting to, you know, put a build together out of the whole situation, but sometimes it'd be like that. That's why, you know, the commission work like that. Like I still have my commission listing up where I'll like build people's computers for them for like $100, as long as it's not like crazy, you know, like liquid cooled build or anything like that. But commission work, you never really know what you're getting yourself into. It's really better just to find your parts, throw a budget build together, and just list it where you're kind of in control of the situation. But anyway, I don't want to drag this out any longer than it's already been. Got some pretty cool videos coming up soon, so subscribe, ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on them. Peace.